Midweek preview time. Show us your tips. Beaver and Daggy are with you to get stuck into Warwick Farm and Sandown this afternoon. How you travelling, my friend?
Firing on all cylinders, thank you, Daggy. Not a bad weekend,
You
I
were
think.
flying, I think.
Well,
I think
I was
you were
flying.
putting
Yeah,
stock
it's going
back
all
in
right,
those.
wasn't it?
Yeah, outstanding start. And even in our PCTC tipping, I think you're upcoming second now by a point or two.
Yes, just missed out on taking the top spot. Got my special slightly wrong.
Oh, what I put?
I had El Soldito was my best value winner of the day, but I didn't have it as my special.
Oh, right, okay.
I went
Oh, right, yeah,
Penthouse,
your double
who,
points. Yeah.
yeah,
Looked home at the 100 Penthouse.
it did look home, but the other thing just had the run and sit off the back of it, and won nicely, quite strongly.
Both tracks slightly rails-ish, but like we knew that going in, so you can't complain too much. It was what it was. It was what we usually get from those tracks in summer.
Yes, some good racing. I thought there was some good bets there, and it proved to be the case.
And it keeps going. So the first Group 1, Melbourne Autumn and Spring is always fun because you plod along, all of a sudden you just get a bunch of Group 1s and they disappear again. So we've got the CF4 Stakes kicking us off for the Autumn Carnival. I think we've got Group 1 racing all the way through from this week to April, I think. So all that to look forward to. We've had a pretty fair track record over the carnivals the last 5 years, so bring them on. But for now, let's get stuck into Warwick Farm, where
let's keep the early season run going, Daggy.
Exactly. I suppose now we're fending for ourselves. I should do some like gratuitous promo clips and stuff. Hey, I might do that today. Anyway, 7th of February, what are we doing? Warwick Farm. It is a soft track, beautiful day in Sydney. I think it dries out. 5 metres from the winning post to the 1,000, 2 metres for the remainder. I suggest you're probably going to be up and perhaps off the rails by the end of the day, but not too far from the lead. Kick off with the babies, 1,300 metres, 2-year-old maiden to start the day. Interesting race, given your form. Let's let you can lead us off.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, it is an interesting race with a few kind of sharing the spoils in the market here. I've gone for the first starter, linebacker. Thought it's trialled well enough to run well here. Looks like it has a little bit of ability, and Shay has been getting some first starters firing early in this season. So I think that's the way I'm going to play and have it on top. And I see there's a little bit of money for it.
I liked a couple here. Tatalia just had the runner at spot. I liked the debut. I think the form stood up coming out of that race on the weekend, and I think runs well. And was scared of linebacker. We've lost, not in this race, doesn't affect it. We've lost J-Mac for the week as well, just in case you hadn't noticed. But I think linebacker's last trial is very good, and I agree. A little bit watch and learnish this race, but I think they're the two key hopes for me. 6 from 4. The second is a 1,200 metre maiden. I think this is a pretty good little maiden, or was before the scratchings here. With scratchings, I'm left with the Gaybot on top, Redbreast, who has trialled well both times out and gets lead here now, a softer lead, and is right in this game. And I thought the obvious danger, and I thought a bigger field might suit better, to be honest, but Ducasse coming back from chasing the likes of Tom Kitten reads much better for this, and it really ate up the ground in that trial. I think it's going to run well here, so depending where it gets to in the run and how much pressure's on, it is a nice horse and much better than maiden grade, so a live chance. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I thought exactly the same as you. I did go for Redbreast because I think it might jump and run and just try and control this race out in front, and might just be a bit too nippy. But yeah, super scared of Ducasse. I think it's will be well primed for a decent campaign here and might win a better race than this. So they're definitely the two in the market and the two to be watching. Watch the track, and if there's any favouritism to leaders, then you probably want to be on the Waterhouse spot.
Third is a benchmark 78, 2,400 metres, and if there is any favouritism, Yarrawonga might be a complete moral here, getting complete control of this race. Depending on this track's playing, I have actually put California Grass on top. I think it just took no part in that last race, got too far back, hit the line well. It does come through the same form line, but Saturday back to Wednesday, I'm going to give it top billing at the price. Terrified of Yarrawonga, as I said, and if it is the place to be up there and it gets a soft lead, Isn't necessarily a complete line chaser, but will have loose lead and will very much look home at the 200, I'd suggest. How have you seen this?
Yeah, awful race. Don't like these types of races, these staying races, chops and change what wins. I'm just going for the top weight. Oakfield Wallaby, been going well this campaign. Gets out to 2,400 metres now, so thought it could run well.
The fourth is 1,100 metre benchmark 72. And my first notes here, what the hell is this race? Could you find one to back, though?
I was a bit the same. What is this race? I've gone for the Waterhouse Bot Tycoon Jenny. I look at its Sandown Lakeside form, ran a length behind Eternal Flame, which I think's got plenty of ability, and then also beat Rich Lover, who's run some nice races down south. Starting its campaign here, and I think did enough in the trials, wasn't really pushed out, but I think it might be a little bit better than these.
Yeah, I wanted to see more from the trials, and maybe I was just looking for more. Maybe that's my own headspace there. But I was expecting to jump, bounce, and lead those trials. Didn't really, but I guess they're fine. I thought the two I went looking for, the two at the top here, Super Bright and Dame Cartland. Fresh Nathan Doyle, Dame Cartland, inconsistent but can produce its best. This trial is fantastic, and Super Bright now third up, back from 2 Saturday runs to this, both at a price, perhaps last chance for both. But if you were keen on the Waterhouse run, I would not talk you out of it. Mate of the show, John, who I think might join us for the Golden Slipper show down the road, is keen on Opito Ballerina, third up for Bjorn, for whatever that's worth. The fifth is a 1,400 metre benchmark 68, and the Waterhouse run continues for myself because I'm putting Soldier of Rome on top. Okay, first up, now back to Wednesday grade, loses any other pace, anyone else that was going to be on the pace with it, I should say, and gets control again, so I'm going to put it on top. In a bigger field again, I would have had something on Glad You Think So, who was a horse I was stumping up through all the way through into the Derby almost, and it now resumes here with a claim, might want to run, but might be able to run into a place, unfortunately, where we've got a smaller field. Not much more to talk about. I suppose there's a watch on this about a girl, but when it doesn't pass a horse in either trial, I don't know what to make of it. What do you think?
I'm going about a girl. I know what you're saying on the trials, but it's sneaky.
I know. You just don't try and think about one.
Started favourite on a soft track in New Zealand. Wallace picked it up, brought it here. Doesn't bring ordinary horses to his stable from New Zealand, so they must have had a bit of opinion of it there. Won well. I expect it's got some ability, this, and I'm gonna risk it for a biscuit on this one.
Cool. And Karen takes over the riding there from J-Mac. The sixth is a 1,400 metre benchmark 72. Who do you like?
Yeah, I'm going stylised here. I liked the first up run. Thought it chased hard enough to the line there at $10 behind Romeo's Choice. I think it's even fitter now. Gets the extra 100 metres, gate 4. I think it's going to be the hardest to beat here and in a pretty even field.
Yeah, I think the Quinella from the Australia Day race run the Quinella again, but I think Stylised out to 1,400 metres turns it around. Zach Lloyd is the new rider. There's nothing else here. Romeo's Choice will lead, and they'll run the Quinella, I think. I think that's the race. The seventh and last is a 1,200 metre benchmark 72, and I am going to go with introducing for the Waterhouse Spot team again. Both trials are fantastic, and went down south and in all those early 2-year-old features, was in the market in all those races, and back to this grade I think looks great. It was $4, still getting $3.50ish now as of Wednesday morning. Sorry, just ticked in again, $3.20.
$3.
I think it'll win. It's on top, and if there's a danger, to be honest, I can't find a lot. I think that maybe one more. If you want one for your quaddie, Thunderlips, now second up, back in grade a little bit, might run well, but might be absolute last chance there too. I think this gay runner could be a good thing. Beaver.
Yeah, you might be right. I was just looking for a little bit of value here in the last. I've gone for Lancaster Bomber. Pretty pretty consistent of late. Wasn't far off him in the midway at Rosehill last start, and before that, won quite nicely at Canterbury on the soft track. Been pretty consistent this time in. Doesn't know how to run a bad race, gets the right draw, and might just get the sit here. So I'm going to look for a bit of value in the last with Lancaster Bomber.
Beautiful. What is your best value on the card and your best bet?
Yep, my best bet is going to be race 5, number 10, About a Girl. And my value is going to be race 7, number 9, Lancaster Bomber.
I'll make my best, Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott. I could train 4 or 5 winners here, but race 7, number 2, Introducing. I'll make my best. And my value, race 4, number 1, Super Bright. And like I said, maybe, I think Glad You Think So can run well, resuming in that race there behind Beaver's Best. Down to Saturday, we've got nothing to plug. Yeah. Where can I buy nice cricket gear? KeenCricket.com?
Yeah, thanks, mate.
There you go.
Where can I get lots of tips, Daggy and Beaver?
Yeah, show us your tips.
Good ones.
Also, the Footy and Frothy's full season preview is happening this Sunday. We've dragged the Gump out of the dustbin to come on board. So
He's still alive, is he?
yeah, we found him. So he's coming
stuff.
to spend Sunday afternoon with us. And the last time we did it went for about 4 hours. So and talk footy there. Barn and I'll also be on the Ruck Infringement podcast tomorrow night. You can check that out, previewing this year's season. So all that to come for rugby league fans. Down at Sandown, enough waffle there. We got a good track. We have a good track, to use the proper English. Rail in the 3 metre position, maybe slightly on pace, but should be fine. And we kick off with a 1,300 metre maiden, which there's a debutant here I quite liked. The trials of in Jam and Jimmy. Thought it really ate up the line, both trials. And I think it runs really well here. So I'm going to put it on top. And this other Waikato stud trained, owned, I should say, Rocking the Boat filly can, I think, run well on debut. Who do you like?
Yeah, look, the Freedmans seem to hold the key here, but I'm going to go for Castle on High from...
Yep.
I thought the first run was pretty good. Again, Kiwi coming over to Australia, finished second, was a nice run, was fancied, and I think it can run well. I think there's plenty of improvement in that, and keen to see how it goes first up. Seeing the money's come for it, that'll do me.
The second is a 1,400 metre maiden, which, no, it's not, it's a class 1, I tell a lie. Not a bad little race. Who have you found here?
Yeah, I narrowed it down to 2 here. I'm going for the Resumer Brazen Kingdom.
Okay.
Around the $5-6 mark. First up here over the 1,400, which will suit. Can get out a bit further in the market, in distance. Sorry. I think it's got decent form here. It's had 4 placings from its 7 starts, and it showed just good improvement when last in work. Won a maiden at Pakenham, and then went to Sandown and finished 2nd, 3rd, 5th. But they were finished on quite hard in those, and they were in pretty decent races against some decent company that have gone on and done well. So I've got it on top. Main danger is Stepchild from the Plain Stable. 1 start, 1 win, albeit in a maiden at Benalla. Was pretty short there, started odds on and won quite convincingly. So it might have some ability as well. So I'm going to play those 2 both around sort of the $5, $6 mark.
I'm going with the map, and I've got a feeling Sparkling gets control here, unless New Hampshire's a real pest. I think Sparkling, off a nice win last time out, can roll forward, take it up, and I don't think it's going to be a great deal of pace, which on the Lakeside track can play to its advantage, but not a big confidence race. I think 5 horses could win this, given their day, so the 2 you mentioned, obvious chances. I think there's even a bit of a watch on Warlords, who trialled well again. Did that last time in and sort of fell off a cliff, but Fresh might be best there. Just going to spec the leader in this one. The third is a maiden for the 2-year-olds, and I'm going to put my hand up and just say I did not have time to put this race together in my head. Have you got an opinion?
Yeah, similar here. They're all first starters. It's really hard to get a line on these. The blue colours hold the key, obviously, with the main 2 in the market. So I'd be looking at those and looking any moves towards either of those.
Yeah, we'll watch and learn, let's say. The fourth is a mile benchmark 64, and I thought the two on paces looked completely obvious here, and one of them's now been scratched, so I'm left with Willmott on top. It'll lead, it'll roll along, and if they jiggy jog, as they tend to do in 9 out of 10 of these sort of races, I think it'll win again. Nice enough resumption, more upside, a nice leading jockey. Yeah, on top for me, Willmott. Anything to add?
No, nothing to add there. I led the same way here with Wilmot. I think you might have the pattern here all nutted out, and I think it's hardest to beat. The main danger is Prince of Cambridge. It's third up here. Finished off quite nicely last start. Got a bit far back, but finished off. So I'd be looking at it to push the favourite if anything does.
Awesome. The fifth is a 1400 metre benchmark 70. Who have you found?
Yeah, I'm keen on the number 6 here, Versilia. Its recent form is pretty good. Last two starts have been behind the likes of Vagrant, which we talked about earlier, who won and beat Penthouse, and prior to that, Eternal Flame, which is a good horse. So good last run. If it lives up to that form, it should be winning this. And so gate 1, Blake Shin aboard, pretty keen.
Yeah, I know. I reckon I found this horse 8 out of its 21 starts, which is why I haven't here, but it does absolutely look its race. I'm just going to put Bold Manor on top because it's flying his prep, gets a great run again, potentially even crosses here and leads or sits outside lead. But I have a feeling, though, Blake from gate 1 might lead this race. And if he does, probably wins Versailles. But for the sake of a horse that actually likes the winning post, I'm going to put Bold Manor on top, but terrified of Versailles in this one. The 6 is a 2100 metre benchmark 70, and I am going to play around the value with Entitled Princess. I think it's just going really well. This preparation hasn't put in a bad one. Has had the 2400 metre run, which is always a tick, and it's $8. It will be in the finish, and is my best value on the card, I think, because I don't necessarily trust the rest of these. Your thoughts?
I don't trust any of these, including your tip. I've just put Ala Moana on top, lightly raced, only had the 3 starts. Won its maiden, and that was a nice enough win, was well backed and beat them comfortably there. Then went to the Valley, wasn't disgraced at long odds. This is easier. Hopefully there's room for improvement.
The 7th, 2100 metre benchmark 70, and the money's come for Lording this morning. Is that the way you're thinking?
Mate, I hadn't gone for Lording because I just think it's a bit too skinny for me, to be brutally honest. $2.30, carrying 58. I've gone for Hard to Cross from the Paddy Payne stable.
Yep.
I thought it's been pretty consistent of late. Gets out to the 2100 metres here. I think that's going to suit. And again, the recent form has been good. Was length and a half behind Star Vega, which I think is pretty good. And then was pretty well fancied at Pakenham when only just beaten. And prior to that, resumed at Moonee Valley, and that was quite a good run. Over 1600. So now gets out to the 2100. I think that suits, and I think it's hard to beat.
I agree. I've gone with Star Vega form, but the two different form lines. First is Hard to Cross, perhaps last chance, but I think both those last 2 runs behind, well, first of all, chasing Brooklyn Boss, then chasing Star Vega, or run over by Star Vega, looks good to me here at an each-way price. And I'm going to make the danger Lavish Thinker, who was chasing Star Vega as well a few back. I think it's going well, Line Chaser. And if we're making ground, both at an each-way price, I'll cover, and I think we can get a result. Let's finish the day with a 1200 metre benchmark 64. We've lost Hey Fat Cat, which leaves me with Robrick on top. Trials were good. Looks a little bit obvious now. We've lost the main danger. Form through Molly Knickers and co. All reads really well in a benchmark 64. Anything to add?
Yeah, I was a bit concerned about the 62, so I've gone for sub 6, just with a little bit of weight pull with Blake Shin on board. One first up, I thought that was pretty good and was a good way to resume to the track. I think he can run well, only lightly raced. Now the penny might have dropped and just got it on top, slightly better value, slightly less weight.
Awesome. For us, who is you? Oh, I'll go first. My best now with the scratchings, actually, I'm going to change it. which I'm sure I'll regret later, but I'm going to make it Willmott here, race 4, number 5, now with control, and my value race 6, number 6, entitled Princess, your best in value.
Yeah, my best race 5, number 6, Versilia, and my value bet comes up in race 7, number 2, Hard to Cross.
Beauty. What's happening at Eagle Farm?
What is happening at Eagle Farm? I've only got 2 at Eagle Farm today. The first one is race 3, number 6, Bernice's Spirit, and race 6, number 10, Ocean Czar.
Perfect. Excellent. That's it. That's a look through some good racing, actually. Good betting day, if all goes to plan. So we'll have a bit of cash in the pocket for CF4 Stakes Day, which Beaver and I will preview Friday morning. We may even try and get a couple of previews up for a short best bets up for Canterbury Friday night as well. I'll see how I go for time with that. Anything to add?
Nothing to add. Thanks, mate.
Beautiful. Subscribe to the new channel. Leave us some feedback. Leave us some comments below. It all helps out as we're rebooting to an extent. So thank you guys for all the support so far, and we'll be back on Friday. Catch you guys.